Now, previously we've been looking at drawing our design for our building using 2-point perspective, and then what I've done since then, I've added a bit of thickness here for the window frames and a bit of detail here on the garage. Okay. Now what we're going to do next, we're going to start adding some colour to it and some rendering to make it look just a tiny touch more realistic. Now the first thing I'm going to do is buildings are fixed on the ground. So we need a fix on the ground, so we need to do a thicker line here around the base. So I'm going to get my pen and just the bottom lines I'm going to add a slight thickness to. Okay, so the idea here is that it's stuck on the ground. Anything we draw, if it's fixed on the ground like a chair, we do the bottom of a table, bottom of a chair legs or a table, we do the bottom of it darker, so a thicker line to show it's sort of fixed onto the floor. Okay, so we go around like this, slightly darker, slightly thicker to show it's fixed on the ground. And as we go around doing the base of the building like this. Okay. Okay, so now we can show it. Now we can see it's fixed on the floor. Now I've got to make this look a little bit more, not really realistic, but just so it stands out a bit more. Okay, so it's more than just a plain image on the page. And I'm going to shade this side here slightly darker. Okay, then we're going to build up in colour. So I'm going to get myself just a normal HB pencil, and I'm going to very lightly go over the whole of this side. Okay, I'm going in one direction, and it's just a standard HB pencil, and it doesn't really matter if I go over the edges, because at the moment everything is in pen except for this bit of pencil, so I can always rub out errors in a minute. I'm only going in one direction. I'm trying to get a nice even block of colour, even block of shade down there like that. Okay, and then going down here, so I'm covering the whole of this in a kind of a grey. You can notice I'm holding my pencil so not quite a distance from the edge there, so I get not the point of the pencil engraving but the soft sides of the pencil marking down like that. Okay, so that's this side of the building, but under here it's be slightly darker again, so a bit more. So this time I'm adding a bit more pressure, working my way backwards and forwards to build up a layer, slightly darker grey. Okay, because this would be this will be in shade. It's all kind of under that undercroft there. And this bit here, that garage door, that'd be darker still, because not only would it be under, but it's also on the same side of that, on the shaded side. So I'm going to build it up again, a little bit darker still, going across there. Again, I'm not engraving the paper, not pushing really hard, I'm just building up, going backwards and forwards. Okay, to make it slightly darker. Okay, now use our rubber. Just neaten off these edges. Oh, it's something I haven't mentioned, but it's obviously very important whenever we're doing anything like this shading. You know, I have like some scrap paper beneath it. Otherwise, whatever I'm doing, there's always a risk. If I'm working on a wooden table or something, I get like a grain effect coming through on my work. Like a little brass rubbing, so make sure a bit of scrap underneath is always a good idea. Right, so now I've added a bit of basic shade. Okay, I'm now going to start adding a touch of colour. So like I said before, I'm going to try and make this. It's going to be clad. Okay, so it's going to be clad in wood. So we're going to use a little brown pencil, and I'm just going to lightly go across here. Now don't forget, I don't really want to go over the lines this time. Okay, because I can't really rub out the colours as easily. And because I've gone over this in grey beforehand, instead of getting a darker brown here, I get a grey, a kind of a shadowy brown, a shaded brown. Yeah, it's not in the sun. So that's why I've gone over in pencil first. So I'm building up the colour rather than saying, you know, push a little harder. I'm after a deeper colour. I'm after the more shaded colour, okay? So it's a difference between making it darker because it's in the shade and actually giving it a more washed out feel. Okay, then I carry on down there. And because I'm not pushing too hard and going very gentle, the fact I'm changing direction with the pencil isn't too bad. On the whole, I'm going this direction, but if I need to, I'm just going off to one side. Okay, and then I lightly build up down there, a bit more brown. Okay, now this is going to be clad, so I want this to have some sort of lines for the boards. So I'm going to be drawing off the vanishing point again, but because I was efficient, I've rubbed out, I have no vanishing point. So to find out where it would go, I'll line up my ruler on the edge of the building, faintly go up here, then I'll line up my ruler down here at this bottom of the building, lightly here, and that's approximately where the vanishing point was. Right, now using my colour, I'm going to put my ruler on the vanishing point, and I'm only going to be drawing on the building, so I'm just doing one line, move it again, so I'm building up those planks of wood. Okay, so I'm just want it to appear as though I've got those planks of larch down the side of my building. Okay, so when I've made your building, and I've now clad it in this. If I wanted to, I could have done this in brick. Okay, so I didn't need to be doing this. I could be doing it in kind of a brick colour and trying to subdivide it into lines. But I've opted instead to go for wood. So I've got a bit of wood cladding like this. And it's nothing too accurate at the moment. It's only to give that representation, so if you look at it, people can see what I'm talking about, so they can see instantly, oh, okay, so that building's going to be clad in wood. Okay, that's what it is. I'm not after this being exactly what it is, because obviously my planks I'm using here, if I look, in reality I'm saying there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 planks of wood, the whole width of a building, whole height of a building, so those planks about a foot high, and by the time they overlap, reality is if this was actual to the right size, they'd be say 40 centimetres high. Those planks, far too high, but it's just to give a representation, so we've got a rough idea like that. Okay, and then we do a similar thing this side, and so I'm just lightly go with the brown. Obviously, you can spend more time getting an even block of colour. Okay, but I'm just wanting to get a quick representation of what it's going to be. So I'll just carry on building up that brown. You can see I'm going in the direction of the planks at the moment as much as I can, so when I do add in those lines, keeps it all looking relatively relatively realistic. Okay, there we go, that's my faint brown down that side. Now I'll do the same trick as before, find out where the vanishing point would have been. One line there, line this one up, and across about there, so that's about where the vanishing point would have been. Then using the brown, line my ruler up again, and just lightly adding these in so you can see where they would be. And just gradually building up. I've intentionally missed this area out because I've decided the location of this building is such that I want that to be a colour. Okay, I want that to be green because I'm imagining this building is set in the countryside, and imagine there's some planning regulations, and I'm not allowed this building unless it blends into the environment, natural environment, and that's why I've clad it. And that's also why that bottom wall is going to have to be some kind of green, okay? Because always building regulations. It's always good when you're doing the drawing, and you think to yourself, why is it like that? Why am I doing that? So I'm thinking, yeah, it's got to be clad because of countryside. Then I've got to have this wall green, and imagine that's my regulations. So my stipulations on the planning is that I can't use any colours within my building that aren't natural colours. So in this habitat, maybe I'm not allowed to use kind of your traditional red bricks. I certainly wouldn't be allowed any white walls. So that's my rationale behind doing it. Okay, because you've got to think to yourself, why is it like that? Can I justify my design? In my case, that's why I said it. Right. Next thing after that, I'm just going to add lightly a touch of blue for the windows, very faintly. Not really covering them in, just to add a touch of blue so that it's clear to everyone that I'm looking at windows. And similarly up here, these glass panels, my roof garden, lightly blue. Okay. Then what I'm going to do next, one final thing, my window frames, got to have them in something. I'm going to make mine not black, but a nice kind of a grey charcoal colour. Okay. So they build them up so they're not there's something that's going to be distinctive to the building so you can see them. And all those different shapes, these windows. So initially we were thinking that same kind of idea as the wooden, as this black rectangles of the kind of artwork like Mondrian, something like that. You know, again, more of a story behind the building, thinking to get that combination of natural finishes with the kind of the styles of Mondrian and the steel, that sort of thing. So there's kind of a story behind it. Okay, and that door as well. I'm going to have a charcoal door as well, quite light, kind of darkened kind of door there. And if you wanted, you might add one touch of colour. I might say to myself, let's have this blue garage here, so it's not visible from until you're there. It's slightly dark because it's got the ground already, the shade, decide to make it blue. Try and add one more touch of colour to it. Okay, and that's almost done. Just take away these. And that's my relatively simple 2-point perspective drawing of a house.